Selam Eylül. Merhaba.
Merhaba hocam.
Merhabalar. C# konusunda nerelerdesiniz?
Hocam C# dersinde Godot'u görmeye başladık. Oyun motoruna. Jenerikleri, inheritance'ı falan hani ondan sonra yani onun içinde anlatıyor hocam.
Anlatıyor mu peki şu anda? Başladı mı inheritance'ı göstermeye?
Yok şu an en son ders Godot motorunda bir şeyler yaptık. Yani onu biraz tanıdık. Oradaki fonksiyonlarda bir şeyler yaptık.
Anladım. Inheritance gördükten sonra biz de Unity'ye geçeriz yavaştan. Okay. I'm going to share my screen again. Yeah, we were we have talked about solutions, and now I would like to give you a question. Let's assume that 70% of the features are complete in your game and your game is 70% polished. So by polished, I mean your art is at its final form and your features are 70% polished. So they get the job done, but they lack the nice to have sub features in them. So let's say that after 7 months, this is the case. Okay. How many more months do you need to complete your game?
Maybe 4 or 5 months.
Why 4 or 5?
Because I think 70% is done at 7 months. And the last 30% can be a bit slower because the finished products also have some bugs or some things to be fixed.
Okay.
So I give extra 2 months to this kind of things.
Okay, you will get you will get $200 for that answer. No, no, by the way. Actually, this is not the answer in my mind, so you get nothing. Another possible answers?
I think it could be 3 months because we said that 70% for 7 months, so that is mathematically 3.
Okay. This is to demonstrate the illusion. Actual percentage of completion is 1 minus 70% times 70%. So let me write this clearly. Okay, and by that we see that remaining percentage is actually this much. So we are actually not 70% finished. We are actually less than half in our way to complete the developments. So we need at least 7 more months to get the job done. And what Erdem said is also true. We might have had a great 7 months. You know, we might be lucky in the first 7 months. Maybe we won't be that lucky in the remaining half. So it's better to add some time extra to the mix, just in case. Okay. And this is how you should plan out. Okay. Now we will go on with the phases of planning. I would say that I would like to repeat again. If you don't have clear definitions, then you don't have control over your product. And to have a definition, you need to first create a specification documents, or another name could be requirement documents, or in our case, we call it game design documents or high level design documents. To like the important point of that is aligning, like it has many benefits, but the most seen benefits of that is legal benefits, which is creating a contract between shareholders. And to create a contract between shareholders, you should share your documents and have a deal with shareholders. So you show your document to CEO, developers. I mean, maybe you may not show whole documents to your developers, but you should at least show the plan, show the path, and discuss with them, bargain with them about time. Ask them how much time will it take for each feature, etc. And if everyone is agreeing on the products, on the design documents, then you decide on your development methodology. So there are different methodologies in software development in general. Let me talk about the first, oldest methodology. Okay. In banks, in big companies, waterfall approach was used, and since software development was new, and the process management is not on its best, waterfall was used more than anything else. And it's a working plan. Sorry, it's a working methodology, but it has many downsides. Let's talk about what is its first. So in waterfall, you define requirements, then you do system design, then you do implementation, also known as coding, then you do testing, then you do deployments, aka publishing your product to the client or publishing your service, and then you jump to the maintenance parts. So you maintain your product and develop it further, fix the bugs, etc. The problem is the usage of the word then. Okay, so each step waits for the previous step in this case, and this is a problem. um, First of all, this is not applicable for smaller teams, because if you have a tester on your team, they will need to wait until you are done with the coding. Okay, so this is a poor approach for most cases. In big companies, this is manageable because you have many projects going on, and you have, let's say, uh, 20 testers, and you can basically call them when you need testing. Um, this is not this is not a methodology that is used frequently for the past 20 years, I believe. And we have a transition from waterfall approach to agile methodology. So these are both methodologies. Um, Waterfall focuses on processes and tools, um, and it focuses on comprehensive documentation, contract negotiation, and it focuses on following plans. This sounds boring, and this sounds bureaucratic, actually. In, like I said, banks, insurance companies, etc., this is still used. But the problem is it's not flexible. We have talked about time flexibility, we have talked about product flexibility. Now we are talking about another flexibility, which is the flexibility that you lose by choosing a methodology over another methodology. So you are losing on the flexibility of basically mitigating, migrating your workforce. So let's say that both of your products are finished at the same time, then you need to basically split your testing team into two halves. This is a problem. This is a limitation. You also limits your developers to wait until system design is complete. Yeah, these are the problems, and there's also another problem. This is a critical path. Like waterfall creates a critical path. A critical path means that the most important features, like the critical path means the path with the most important features. Okay, and in Agile there are many different paths. One is critical path. In waterfall there's only one path, and this path is critical. So in Agile, if your path is not critical, even if you have delays in the development phase or in the testing phase, it won't hurt the main product that much. But in waterfall, since you only have one critical path, let's say that your system design took more time than expected, then you will start implementing the features later than expected. And because of that, your testing will be delayed, your deployment time will be delayed, and of course, you will start maintenance after deployment. So, like your whole plan is basically changed. altered. Agile methodology fights this with focusing on individuals and interactions. It also focuses on working software. It focuses on customer collaboration, and it's like it requires a flexibility when you are responding to change. So in agile methodology, when there's a change, when there's a, I don't know, a global pandemic, it will be easier to adapt your plan. So it's more flexible. And like I said, it focuses on individuals and interactions. Agile methodology does this um, with meetings each day, and it focuses on working software. It does this by forcing teams to release after each release a working copy of the product after each sprint. So uh, your uh, your products will always be working and always be improving, and everyone will be able to see the uh, improvements after each sprint. And sprints take 2 to 4 weeks. And since you have a version ready, you can easily collaborate with your customer and see if they are okay with how things are going in your product. Of course, our product will be a game, so you will probably show your game to your testers, etc. I mean, testers are not customers, of course, but uh, it's a good replica of customers in our case. And you will be adaptive to change as well, because at the end of each sprint, you will plan again. Okay, there are different frameworks if you want to um, use the agile methodology: XP, Scrum, Kanban, and FDD. We will talk about those a bit. Um, and agile methodology has some principles, and all of those frameworks follow these principles. They are a bit different, but you can choose what is working for you and your team, and you can go with that, or you can combine the approaches from those frameworks, since they are the solutions for the same problem. Okay, they are the solutions for going agile. They make your team go agile. Okay, and like I previously said, agile focuses on individuals and interactions by um, encouraging constant communication. You have a working software every sprint. You get feedback from your customers after each sprint or each version of your game, and um, you will be easy to adapt when there's a need for change. Okay, um, we have discussed. Okay, let me show you the general comparison. You are able to see my screen again, right?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, let me just find. I will talk about Scrum in detail with details, but By the way, Batuan, in your lectures, do you talk about similar concepts? Since your department is management information system, I'm not sure. Batuan is not with us, I guess. And I'm having a harder time to find. Oh, okay, I found it. So okay. Let's go first with Agile frameworks. Okay. So I said that there are 4 different ways to use Agile methodology. The most common way of the most common framework is Agile. So Scrum. Agile is the methodology. Scrum is the framework. So let me talk you first about Scrum. Scrum is a team-centric framework utilizing clearly defined team roles and responsibilities to implement the responsive style of Agile project management. And the focus is projects that are led by the team itself. How you do that? You listen to your team and you plan with your team. In some cases, you don't have clearly defined roles, by the way. I mean, this article is defining Scrum, but in most development environments, especially when you are working on a game company, some roles are some roles are connected with other roles. Sometimes a person can do more than one job. There's not many things in this, but I read a book on Scrum, since it's a great way to improve production quality and reduce production time. So I will talk you about that. So in Scrum, like I said, there are meetings at the start of each day. Okay, let's say that your work starts at 9. Okay, you have a meeting at, I don't know, 9:15 or 9:30 maybe. And when, like, for Scrum to be effective, you need to have a flexible team and preferably a small team. How you do that if you have a huge company? You divide your workers into little departments. Okay, and in the book I read, it was said that Scrum is good for 7 people teams at most, and if you have more than 7 people, then your communication level will decrease, basically. In Scrum, it's important for every team member to know what other members are doing in the team. And since it's an Agile framework, you can also assign your team members to collaborate and help each other. So a Scrum meeting goes like this. each person in the team talks for 1 or 2 minutes at most, and they talk about they answer 3 important questions: what they have done yesterday, what they will do today, and if they have any roadblocks, they also talk about this. So if they were unable to solve a bug yesterday, they talk about this. And if I don't know, they need to talk to the designer before going forwards with the developments, then they also, this is a roadblock. Like, you cannot go further without removing this block from your way. So you need to do this first, and you talk about other roadblocks as well during the Scrum. So you answered 3 questions: what you have done, what you will be doing for today, and are the things, what are the barriers that limit you. Maybe you need a software license, this could be the thing. And after, of course, like people can give advices to others, and they can also decide on the time they will meet and communicate together. So let's say that I need to ask something to my team leader, and another developer also needs to communicate with the team leader. We plan this during the Scrum meeting, okay? So I say that okay, like my job is not that much urgent. You can talk with the team lead first, and I can wait until afternoon to talk. So you communicate like this, and there's a Scrum Master too that limits the time of talking. Because since you are having meetings each day, you don't want to spend you don't want to spend too much time on meetings. The best, like the limits is 15 minutes. Okay. So everyone talks for 1 minute, and if you have 7 members, then this will be 7 minutes. This is great. But if everyone talks for 2 minutes, then it will be 14 minutes, which is also acceptable. But if someone is talking too much, then Scrum Master needs to cut his talk and move on with the next member of the team. Okay. Any questions about Scrum? Okay. Kanban is also similar. By the way, I forgot to mention, in Scrum, you define sprints. Like I said, I'm going to actually show you our sprints. Let's see if I can look from here. This is the sprints we use for developing our new card game. Okay. So as you can see, we have 5 rows. There's a long to-do list. There's like at the beginning of each sprint, as a team, we decide to assign numbers to each little task. Okay. So as you can see, in this card, we have a value of 3. And like, let me tell you how we assign these values. You know Fibonacci numbers, right? They go like 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 13, etc. So we assign a Fibonacci number to each task. We decide on this Fibonacci number together. If it's a hard task, we can assign 8. If it's a really easy task, we can assign 1. And we decide on this number together. After we assign the numbers, we decide to take some tasks to our plan, to our sprint plan. Let's say that our team is capable of finishing 20 points in a sprint, okay? This is something we learned in the past year. On average, we finish 20 points of work, okay? We know this. And because of that, we assign values, we choose what to add to our next sprint. So we decide on what to do for our next 2-3 weeks. And like you see, we have already choose how much is that? There are 5 things to do in our sprint. And after that, we assign people to do those jobs. So let's say that a senior developer on average can finish 8 points in a week. Then the senior developer gets 8 points. As you can see, a colleague of mine took 3, 3, and 5 points. Oh, more than 5, more than that actually. They took, but sorry, those are for the test. So yeah, for this sprints, I believe he took 11 points. Okay, that's fine. And he is sharing this job with me. So he cannot do this alone, and I cannot do this alone. Since we are integrating 2 features together, we need to do this together. So this is why, this is me, by the way. And this is why there are 2 people in our in this card. Okay. So like I said, we assign someone to do the work, to do each work in our sprint. And in Trello.com, you can also have subtasks. Let me show you that. Sorry. Okay. For this one, we need icons for each status effect. And status effects are those for the prototype, okay? And our artist completed the icons for the 6 of the status icons, but he didn't finish them all. Okay. After the sprint, so like after the big meeting to discuss the sprint, to plan out the sprint, you start working on the jobs in the sprint, obviously, and you drag them onto doing part, and you start working on them. After you finished a task, you drag it to test, and After it's okay, you know, if the test has been passed, then you drag it to the done part. Okay, so this is how we use and how we plan out our game. Okay, any questions so far? And as you can see, our team has 5 members, and also the managers are able to see what we are doing. So they are here as guests. This is our artist. So he doesn't have the I guess he cannot drag and drop cards, but he can see the cards available to see. And this is our product manager. This is another product manager, and we have 3 developers working on it. And um, okay, there's another product manager here, but he doesn't work with us that much. Yeah, this is what I would like to share. Let's go back to Kanban. So Kanban is similar to Scrum in that it aims to support teams working at top level efficiency together. It zooms in on the workflow aspect of a project, streamlining what is in progress and avoiding bottlenecks in productivity. Kanban usually involves use of a Kanban board or flowchart. In my experience, we used Scrum more than Kanban. We have used Kanban boards though. So, I mean, Kanban board is like it can be used for Scrum as well, and it's not that different from the Kanban board. So the idea in Kanban board is it's somewhere where everyone can see. Okay, so everyone can have an idea of uh, the current situation that the uh, game is in, and there's a backlog, there's an in progress column, uh, and sometimes there's a peer review column. Okay, so peer review is when you finish the developments, but you need to get an admission from the team leader, okay, from your colleagues. So they check your code, and if your code is a quality code, you know, high quality code, easier to read, etc., then you then they say, okay, this is a good code, and then your development is in test. So a tester tests your development, and then if you pass the test, then you put it on the done slot. Okay, so backlog is the backlog is all of the product. Okay, so you try to write down everything in your product to the backlog. Let's say that your game will have a Unity add implementation. You add that here. Let's say that your game will need to have a database integration. You put that here. Let's say that your game will be multiplayer here. Let's say that your game will have language support. You write that down here. Okay, and also if something is blocked, you also mention that. And since everyone can see what is blocked, people can help out to the person with the blocked job. Maybe he needs an admission. Maybe he needs more resources. I don't know, but this guy is blocked and this work is blocked. So people do their best to remove this block.